Mike, in your opinion, how far can the Cowboys go this year with Andy Dalton at QB?
Honestly, Jenny, I think they can go far. I think Andy Dalton still has a lot left in the tank, and I like, what he presents as a starting quarterback. And when you fall into a backup role, sometimes you'll have guys like Patrick Peterson and opposing defenses looking at you like you're washed up, and they'll start to sleep on you. And that's natural. That's normal. But it's going to be up to Andy Dalton to show, that he still has, the right mindset, the right attitude to lead this Dallas Cowboys franchise, who paid him a lot of money for this reason alone, to step in if something happened to Dak and be the starter and take the team, to the playoffs or beyond. And I think he's certainly capable of it. He still has a lot left in the tank, and he has the resume. The thing is, this team has to establish a true running game. And just like it was said, you take away the run of the Dallas Cowboys, and then they become one-dimensional in the passing game, and that's easy for any defense to stop. It's easy for any defensive group to shut down an offense that's going to throw the ball around 30 to 40 times a game. I think for the Dallas Cowboys, they have to focus on running the football and getting Zeke going. It's been tough for him up until this point, but I think he's the real catalyst to make this offense go. So if they can establish that, it'll make Andy Dalton's job easy, and it won't be a matter of teams just trying to tee off on him and feeling like if they can force Andy Dalton to beat him, then they can beat him.
How far can they go? They can win the division, but only because it's terrible. 7 wins could potentially win this division. I believe 8 wins will actually win this division. So that's not saying anything. I do believe that if the Cowboys win this division, they're going to get a home playoff game, rightfully so. They win the division, get a home playoff game, but they're one and done. They like Duke and Kentucky freshmen, one and done. That's what the Cowboys are, Skip. You know it. That's what they've been since you and I have been on the air. One and done. It'll be that way again this year. They should force. Now, what should happen, what should have been happening all along, is that they should have been playing through Zeke. But what had happened is that they had morphed into this 3 wide receiver set, single back, throw the ball around, use Zeke as an afterthought. Now they will get back to what they were when they had a lot of success when they were 13-3 in Dak and Zeke's rookie season. Zeke will get his 25 touches a game, and then things will go back to normal. They will have some success. But I agree with Pat P. I want the ball in Andy Dalton's hand because there's a greater chance that I can get a tip, I can get a carom. I'll get interceptions if the ball is in his hand as opposed to have the ball in Zeke's belly. But you have to be, it's a lot easier said than done, Skip, taking Zeke away because they're going to be committed to running Zeke. Zeke is going to be committed to running because Zeke ran hard. He ran hard Sunday, Skip, but I've seen him run in a while. And so I believe...
And he wound up with 91 yards.
91.
Okay.
90, Skip, but you got to realize they fell behind, too.
Yep.
So Zeke was kind of neutralized because they fall behind. If they can stay on course, if they can stay on track, not fall behind by Skip. You can't fall behind 41-17 and expect to win a ball game and expect the Zeke to get his touches. But they can they can win the division, but that's as far as it goes.
Interesting. So I want to compliment our man, Michael Vick. He is on fire today on this show because he said right out of the box, they can go far with Andy Dalton.
Far like where?
Maybe they win a first-round playoff game at home. Maybe. Who knows?
I know.
Look, I'm not saying Andy Dalton is Dak, but he is not bad. And I love Patrick Peterson. I respect him. He is a fine man and a fine football player. But he is dangerously dismissing Andy Dalton. He called him a serviceable backup. You can't dismiss what this man has done as serviceable backup material. And he did say he could be a starter for some teams in this league. Look, Andy Dalton has won a whole bunch of football games in college and pro football because at TCU, he took the, 2010 Horned Frogs all the way to the Rose Bowl, and they went 13-0 and were making a case they were the best team in the country. Andy Dalton was the MVP of the Rose Bowl win over Wisconsin. Andy Dalton was the 3rd pick in the 2nd round of the NFL draft. Went to a Bengals team that had a lot of talent, had some weapons. A.J. Green came in that same year. They had Jermaine Gresham. They had early on Sanu, and they had Tyler Eifert, and they had Marvin Jones. They had 3 or 4 pretty good running backs, but they did not have this trio of receivers that Andy Dalton just inherited in Dallas, Texas. Or Zeke. So all of a sudden there is firepower all around this man. And you know and I know in Andy Dalton's first 5 years in the league, they averaged winning 10 games a year. He made 3 Pro Bowls. In his career, he has thrown 204 touchdown passes to 118 interceptions. That's a lot of football at a fairly high level. So he's been here and done all of this. He was not overwhelmed by the moment, albeit against the New York Football Giants the other day.
Really?
Well, they were in trouble. That their season was teetering. If they fall to 1-4 against the woeful Giants, if they blow that game at home, and he pulled it out with 2 big-time throws, one to Amari.
If you fall to the woeful Giants, guess what? You're still tied for first place in the division.
Okay.
So how bad is that, Mike? You 1-4.
That was going to be my next point.
Exactly.
Okay. Now they're in the lead.
Shannon.
Go ahead, Michael.
No, to Shannon's point, the thing is, and what makes this so sweet for Andy Dalton is that he's playing in a division that's up for grabs. I think we'll probably say that for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting to watch. But, you know, the man, like we said, has the pedigree. And, you know, he's played with some of the best. He's developed some of the best. And, you know, when you bring a guy in like CeeDee Lamb and you be talking about the run game, you know, that's how the run game with the Dallas Cowboys have gotten lost because CeeDee Lamb has emerged, and now you got a trio of receivers that's making hay. So that's very enticing to an offensive coach like Mike McCarthy. So, you know, I think they got to still find that balance in order to help Andy Dalton succeed in this offense. But the biggest Achilles heel, I think, still could be the defense.
Well, sure.
Ultimately.
I got it. But
you know,
look,
that's stating the obvious again, but it's just something that Andy Dalton is going to have to overcome like that.
okay, but hypothetically, 8, 9, 10 in the box, they take Zeke away over time. By the second half, they just say, you can't have him.
Right.
You don't think Andy Dalton can hit those 3 receivers and hurt you?
Yeah.
Yes, he can.
But you know what? It's getting to the point that I'm gonna give my coverage towards CeeDee Lamb because he's the slot receiver and he's always close. You know, that slot receiver normally has a great relationship with the quarterback. And now when you play fake, guess who steps up? Linebackers. Guess who's right there behind where the linebackers were supposed to be? CeeDee Lamb. So I'm not so sure. I don't know if Pat P probably will start off on Amari Cooper, Skip, because theoretically he is their number 1. But Pat P will travel. So whoever's getting the ball, he might be a situation where he has to follow the ball. Whoever's getting the ball, I got to go try to take that away.
He can't cover all 3 of them.
He can't.
Right?
He can't.
And by the way, did you just admit that CeeDee Lamb is the best rookie receiver in the league? I think you just did, which I tried to explain to you.
Well, Skip, of the rookie receivers, he went to the best situation.
Oh.
You don't think he went to the best situation?
Well, what's that kid's name from Alabama?
Jared Judy.
I'll tell you that.
Judge Judy? Where's
Jared
he going?
Judy.
Oh, yeah, Jared
I mean,
Judy.
Ruggs is going to be okay.
He's been pretty good. Yeah, very good.
CeeDee Lamb surprised me. He's catching some nice balls in traffic. He's a lot tougher than I thought he was. And
Thank you.
Not the biggest, but, you know, put
Thank
himself
you.
in a position to succeed.
That's all right.
Listen to Michael Vick.
We're going to get Dak next year. Dak going to be in Denver next year.
Is he?
Oh,
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yep.
Wishful thinking.
Yep. Dak going to be our guy.
He is not.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.